On a quiet January morning in Tomball, a young woman stepped into her driveway, unaware that her life was about to be violently taken. Liz Barraza was only 29 years old, newly married, and excited about the future she was building. She was known as kind, creative, and deeply involved in her community. That morning, she was preparing for a neighborhood garage sale, something she had carefully planned for days. It should have been an ordinary Saturday. Before sunrise, Liz arranged items in her driveway, chatting briefly with her husband before he left for work. Security cameras captured her movements as she set up tables and boxes. The footage feels mundane at first, peaceful even. Then a dark pickup truck slowly pulled up to the curb. Nothing about it immediately screamed danger. A figure stepped out of the vehicle, disguised in a robe or costume-like clothing. The person approached Liz calmly, as if they belonged there. For a brief moment, the two appeared to exchange words. Then the situation turned deadly. The suspect raised a gun and shot Liz multiple times at close range. As Liz collapsed, the shooter returned to the truck and drove away without hesitation. The entire encounter lasted less than a minute. Neighbors heard gunshots but did not realize what had happened until it was too late. Liz was rushed to the hospital, clinging to life. She died 4 days later without ever regaining consciousness. The murder stunned Tomball, a town unaccustomed to targeted violence. Police immediately described the killing as deliberate and planned. This was not a robbery, as nothing was taken. It was not random, as the suspect went directly to Liz. Investigators released the surveillance video, hoping the public could identify the shooter or the truck. The footage spread rapidly across the internet, igniting national attention. Viewers analyzed every frame, every movement, every detail of the disguise. Speculation exploded, but concrete answers did not. The killer remained unidentified. Police explored multiple angles, including personal relationships and possible online connections. Liz and her husband were avid fans of science fiction and cosplay, attending conventions together. Some wondered whether the disguise was meant to blend in with that world. Others believed it was intentionally chosen to confuse investigators. The symbolism, if any, remains unknown. As months passed, the case grew colder despite constant public interest. Tips poured in, many promising but ultimately unproductive. The truck was never conclusively identified. The shooter's face remained hidden. Liz's husband cooperated fully with investigators and publicly pleaded for justice. He described a marriage filled with love and plans for the future. There was no known history of threats or danger. That absence of motive made the crime even more unsettling. It suggested a secret known only to the killer. Years later, the case remains unsolved. No arrests have been made. No suspects have been publicly named. Liz's driveway has become one of the most chilling crime scenes captured on camera. The murder of Liz Barraza continues to frustrate investigators and devastate her loved ones. It also proves that even with clear video evidence, justice is not guaranteed. Somewhere, someone knows who pulled the trigger. Until that truth comes out, Liz's story remains an open wound in Texas true crime history.